With everyone, it's Saturday, and I am in recovery mode from what feels like a 36-hour flu. I've heard of the 24-hour flu, and I've heard of the 72-hour flu. I got one right in the middle, although it's not over yet, so may come back. But I was in bed. If I got up and didn't take three blankets off me, I was shivering like crazy for the last day and a half. So that's the lesson, kids. Go get your flu shot so that you don't have to deal with that. I'm doing everything I can to make it, to soften it, and know what I know about healing. And I'm still in rough shape, but I can at least get up and my fever broke. Thank goodness. Right. My fever broke right before the Argentina Mexico soccer game happened today. And what's funny is I was I was actually watching Mexico lose to Argentina. And what was interesting about that was what? Now let's just do football. I'm too tired, guys. Let's just imagine you had one of the algorithms, right? Imagine you had the NFL algorithm, or the NHL algorithm, or the NBA algorithm, or the college basketball algorithm. Imagine you had any of them. And the college basketball algorithm is the most valuable because it has the most games and the best lines, and it's the most predictive and has amazing days, like it did 2 days ago. I don't think it had that kind of day yesterday, but I don't know because I didn't update scores. So even though it was 19-2 the day before, I know, for example, that St. Mary's lost to Washington late night. They were way up here, but like, hey, we're not healthy. Let's go fast. So imagine you had one of these. First, let's start with football because that's what people care about the most. Well, generally, updating the football algorithm, if you have the most recent email from me and you subscribe to things, is you just need to get an injury report, and you also could check over rosters and standings, right? So I'm just downloading it again. And the injury report opens up. You're not going to see the actual injury report, but I'm going to grab it from the window that opens up on my screen, and I'm going to paste it in the injuries tab right here. And the list shrinks because people go off of questionable and play. That's what happens. So you have to delete stuff on the bottom that was extra. Now that we've done that, what we can do is we can go update the projection pivot sheet here. This is what you have to do next, is you have to refresh this tab right here. You can see like things like people from Carolina, their fullback got healthy or something like that. I just saw it just changed. Yeah, I'm still not feeling great, guys. All right, so now you can go to picks and refresh. And we got a new look. All right. So we have some games that are already finished. We did okay, except for the Patriots game. 5.5 factor. Games on just Sunday. Because what's the Monday night game? I always ask. Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. All right, we'll leave Indianapolis out of our equation for Sunday. So really loves the Niners because it doubles McCaffrey's contribution anyway. But still, it says they blow over the Saints, but we're terrible at predicting the Saints. So I mean, I don't know what you do here at 8.5 points anyway. It's kind of unbettable. You got the Jets over the Bears. Jets are minus 240. Move forward, they have to cover a touchdown. Bears are pretty bad. And they're starting a different QB. They're starting Mike White, I heard. I knew a guy named Mike White that killed himself, actually. That's what I always think of when I hear that. Sorry, I bring it right down. But anyway, maybe he lives on through being the Jets QB. So Flacco, Wilson, and White is not even on here because he hasn't played at all and taken a snap. So your Jets prediction is not is including Flacco and Wilson, and because you have to, it does this as a smart way of still predicting the game well, which is you have Mike White going, he'll probably play okay. And so what kind of points would they put up if they had Flacco or Zach Wilson going? And it's something like this. So makes it a little more difficult to predict, though, because I know we're using different quarterback stats. Washington and Atlanta, minus 200 over Atlanta. Atlanta can score sometimes, though. But so far, we're aligned with the odds makers, except the odds makers think that Miami just overwhelms Houston. And this is one of those where the algorithm says Houston plus a ton of points. And I do see a really tight range of scores here because of probably McCaffrey. It makes me want to go into McCaffrey's stats and do something. I'll explain why. Okay, so he played a little bit on Carolina here. Yet I adjust all his stats to, I believe, actually, I don't know. I'm getting too complicated. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. So what do we do here? Carolina beats Denver supposedly in Carolina. And the over-under is really so. I mean, people that ask me for suggestions on bets, I understand why you asked me that. I hear you. I don't, I did do the straight bet thing for like a week here during November, as I was doing all these videos, and it was successful. So I can't argue that it wasn't successful. And I guess in that strategy, it does say Carolina at a plus odds because it's on here to win. Also, it says ridiculously low number of games. Sorry, the over under is set at 36. What am I talking about? And they go way over it. I apologize. No, the over under is set really low and they go over it. Okay. But I mean, only because there's this underdog line here. So straight bets are all about positive odds on things. Because what is going on here? Rams over the Chiefs. Why is it doing this? Who's hurt? Somebody hurt on the Chiefs and the Rams? What is going on? No, just still there. Person Butker as Kelsey's in there. I don't know. Weird. I mean, right? You'd be like, I mean, look at how it's amazing that the over under is only at 43. I guess the Rams have no offense, but it says that they somehow could win a super low scoring game away in Kansas City. Just berserkistan, right? So that means that Rams plus look at here's how funny this is. The Rams apparently do not have to score a point to cover their spread of 15 and a half. That's funny. That has to be a straight bet. And because it's saying this game is less than a touchdown, an alternate line of the Rams plus 7.5 or plus 10.5, like you can go down that line and get a better line. Like whenever it does something weird like this, it's not right all the time, but it's right a lot of the time. And you're just like, wow. So there's something going on. It says it's a low scoring game. I don't know. All right. Browns beat the Bucks at plus 155, but the margin down here, projected margin of victory is only one. So when you see a plus 15.5, that is a straight pick of the day for football. And I will take Rams plus 10.5. So watch them lose by 11. But to get a better line on a straight bet, that's what I'll do. Another straight bet is Carolina to win over Denver. I know. Wow. And the over in this game is saying straight bet also. It says for this game to have 45 points, like look at all the projected points. It says this is crazy and this is a huge game. I don't know what the weather's like in San Francisco. You might have to bring the magnifier down on that. But tons of points in that game, right? Then the rest of them, the second highest scoring game is this Carolina-Denver game, which has the lowest under. So how do you not take the over that there as a straight bet? And in many ways, it's better than Carolina plus 116 because it says they clear this by 9 points and it's the lowest over under. So I mean, it's in Carolina. It's not even in Denver. Like, I guess that is actually a better pick. And is there anything else where the over happens and that it has a really low scoring game? I mean, it says they really go over in the Saints Niners, okay, right? Because that's only 43. So if anything, there's that. So although I don't like this pick as much because I feel like it's doing weird things with McCaffrey there. So sorry, picks of the days are Carolina to win or Carolina over. It's up to you. I'm going to say that. And then yeah, the Rams plus 15.5. What the heck? It says Philly beats Green Bay 23-18 in Philly. And boy, that would be weird if the Rams won this game. at plus 870. It makes me want to put a little bit on that. They are like defending Super Bowl champions, even if they're not the same team. And a part of me wants to be like, Cleveland at home, Tampa is not great. I know, like this is also an underdog line. So if you're following the logic that you bet anything that's a positive line, you bet Carolina, you bet the Rams, and you bet Cleveland. But the Rams clearly makes a lot more sense at plus 15.5. Because if Mahomes has to pull something off late to just barely win, they do not cover 15.5 even remotely. So there's that. All right. That's football. We're just whatever. All right, hockey, I'm gonna glance on but not really do anything with because I don't think anybody cares, and it also is gonna take a lot more work for me to do it. So you got to update the history with hockey. You got to put in scores because streak percentage matters. So I'm just not even going to do anything with this. And somebody wants to pay me for hockey to do hockey for the day, then I'll go back and I will do that. But until somebody pays for hockey, I'm just not going to do that. So let's go to NBA. Somebody asked me because they broke their NBA file. Well, we have the 25th in there. What's the next day we have odds on NBA? It'll probably be Sunday. Let's see here. There are 3 games left today. I'll take those. And let's do the 27th, which is Sunday, which pops up right here. And there's a ton more games. Okay, so we're opening up both of the lines for the next 2 days. And I am so glad that I don't have to do this every day after the end of November. As you can see, it has contributed to me being sick, clearly. Like, it is just too much work to do all the sports all the time. So we're going to be missing some games from Saturday, I believe, because we started late here. But we don't really care for NBA because NBA doesn't look at streaks. And so basically, you don't have to have a complete history of NBA. But you do want to have a complete look at the lines for tomorrow. So I haven't done any of the other updating of all the player stats and stuff, which makes this accurate, even better. Haven't done that yet. Let's see here, 26 starts right here with the Thunder. So you connect this to your cube, which is what I'm doing right now. That's how I do it. You have to pull, this formula is weird. This marginal win score formula is weird. And you have to pull it down from above. And then we're just going to pull this down until we get all the games in here. And we just did. And some of these games are on the 26th. I believe it was the first 3. And the rest of these games are on the 27th, being Sunday. So we can now go to the results pivot, and I will obviously update this with current stats on Sunday, so it'll be more accurate, and even look at today. I mean, today, 3 games, there's no underdog line on here, but Oklahoma City has a 15% margin against it. I haven't updated an injury report. You got to do that. You have to do that. Like that, there, I draw the line. Like if you don't update the NBA injury report, you are flying blind. Because who's playing and who's not is enormous in NBA. So you have to do this one. You don't have to do the crazy team stat one as much because that stuff doesn't change as much. But the injury report is really, really impactful. And so grabbing that and put that where injuries are. You don't need stuff at the bottom. Okay, so we still haven't even touched on college basketball yet, which is the most impactful to sports bettors. Let me reiterate, I'm so excited I don't have to do this after November. I'm so excited that anytime anybody wants an algorithm from me after November, they have to pay me that day. And I will take time out of my day to create it for them. I just don't have to do a bang up job on everything all the time, every minute of the day. I mean, I would like to thank everybody for not getting on me about Saturday because I let everybody know who cared on YouTube or whatever that I was sick. I would like to thank everyone for, and still says Oklahoma City tonight, by the way. But here you got an injured Suns and you got an injured Lakers. So you might even have an underdog here because that's a lot of injuries. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for not getting on me. I really do. Because had I had a bunch of people being like, "Where's Saturday? I paid, man. I want a refund if you're not going to do your work." I'd be like, "Do you understand that I am near death right now? Like, of course I'd like to get your odds up." No, nobody did that. I can't complain. So because everybody has a copy of the algorithm, I taught you guys all how to use it. So if you really cared, you were monitoring it yourself. That's what I love about YouTube, right? I mean, I got everything out there. So tomorrow, Sunday, underdog Mavs. Negative margin. I don't know. It's tough to say. Pacers over the Clippers, but yeah, injuries everywhere. There's no lines on these games probably because injuries are so bad they couldn't even make lines. You see, it's not even worth looking at until tomorrow's injury report. So let's just move over to college basketball because it never ends. And wait till you see college basketball, a sport that never ends if you want to be betting on sports. I mean, this is the one. So I did not update scores from the 25th, and we're not going to because we ain't got time. So the 26th is going on right now. And we're going to find out what games are happening right now. Oh my God, there's still this many games tonight. Oh my goodness, more than this. There's more than that. Oh God, it never, ever, 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 ever ends. Except when the season ends. And then here's what you've already got for tomorrow. That's right. It's the Sports Algorithm Podcast where we're doing all of them Saturday night. All right, so that's the 27th. And here's the 26th for the West Vermont, who beat Ball State. Yes, yet when I was in a coma with freaking the flu, they beat Ball State. And I bet Ball State plus the points because I am a terrible, terrible, terrible gambler. Even though it said Ball State, algorithm said Ball State. So in that sense, I was listening to the algorithm, but I don't know why I couldn't pick off Vermont winning. I don't get it. All right, let's do this. We're gonna bring this down in the odds compiler to get all the games. And we're just gonna go way down. A bunch of other stuff. So these are the games tonight. All right. If we connect this, actually, I think we gotta go further down. I don't know what's going on here. See how deep this goes. Mercer, Illinois Mercer. New Mexico State. I don't know. Let's see if we got this right or not. What does this end with? Ends with New Mexico State. Ends with New Mexico State. All right. So these games, I guess, are all on the 20. Oops. Okay. So I apparently got out the 25th, but not the 26th, right? I don't know. We're figuring this out. Or do we have duplicates? We're going to find out the answer to this. I can't remember what I did. I was literally just, dead to the world. Health numbers are still 100. 26. Health numbers are all 100. All right, so these games, I guess, are still going on. So if we look at this by margin, we get this. So we get North Carolina. I got to bet against Vermont again. No, I refuse. Won't do it. East Carolina, bad strength of schedule against Old Dominion. Quinnipiac, so are underdogs. This is what you're supposed to do if you're doing straight bets on college basketball, is you're supposed to do straight bets on all these teams. Because, and a lot of them are home, but these are tournaments, so it doesn't work that way. Like a lot of these are tournament games. So, well, I mean, Robert Morris has a better strength of schedule, and so does New Mexico State. So that's some juicy lines right there, actually. So anyway, that was that's basically Saturday night. All right. Now, what about Sunday morning? Because did I mention that it never ever ends? Because I think I did, right? Because it never ever ends. Except it ends November 30th for me. So there it ends. And I'm happy about that. Really, really, really happy. Really, really, really happy about that. All right, so 11:27. So that's my ad for sports betting. It exhausts you, and if you like being exhausted with sports betting, then you should get involved with the algorithms in sports betting. If you want to do other things with your life, you should not do that. And I am liking not doing that. All right, so let's talk about Sunday. You've got Jacksonville State bad strength schedule though. It's one in Colorado, Portland State over Oregon State. Because Oregon State looked like they haven't been as good this year. Slight injury though. Injury to Oregon over Villanova. SIU Edwardsville away. I don't know. Gonzaga only minus 280 against Xavier. Montana over an Air Force team that's been looking better though. I remember Air Force winning some games by big points. So that's probably why that is, but they have some injuries. So there's some stuff up here though that's actually reasonable lines when you look at but the home teams, it's a tough time to go over college basketball. Really need these tournaments to be over so that the home and home bump means something. Although the day we had on the 25th was right? Was it the 24th? Yeah, I don't know how the 25th was, and I'm not going to go through all the games to figure it out. Maybe I will later tonight, but I don't think so. It doesn't matter. So this day of 19 and 2, like, damn. Like I lost money on this day, believe it or not, because I bet again. I talked about the video. I bet BYU, and I bet Nebraska plus points, and I lost. And it was like, wow. And I had Manhattan, of course, because I definitely, and I had West Virginia. So anytime there was a loss on here, I totally had it. I mean, that's the other thing. So even on 19 and 2 day, I jammed all the losses for sure. Yeah, all right, whatever. That's college basketball. That's the podcast. We did everything. I'm alive, and I'll probably be alive through the rest of the month. And we will continue to get videos done and get all this stuff out for everybody. And then you can just buy them whenever you need a refresher. It's not that expensive. It's like 25, $30 for most of them. And I will take the time to do that versions that day for you, and I'll send it over. I won't send any other updates or anything like that, but I'll give you the copy. And when people purchase them, it also encourages me to do videos later in the day with recaps because I've had to at least dedicate the time to getting it ready for someone who paid. But it's not something that I'm going to be working with every day anymore. I have many, many other projects, and you're going to see this channel is going to take on a whole different look in December, because all of a sudden I'm going to be doing tax videos about different state taxes and federal tax rates, and a lot of accounting work, which is what my other life is when it comes to doing stuff in Excel unrelated to the sports algorithms. So that's what's going on. If you're going to enjoy some football on Sunday, maybe I will. Hopefully I'll be not having a fever and feeling okay. I'm going to watch this game, and I'm going to bet on the Rams plus 15.5 points because that looks like the easiest money on the board. It's supposed to be a close game, and I know why we don't think it's going to be a close game, but the algorithm says it's going to be a close game. The algorithm's not putting that in this territory, although it screws up the Saints all the time anyway. But it's not making this look like what the odds makers said, because the odds makers have that game as the biggest favorite of the day. So everybody's betting the Chiefs at home, but it's supposed to be tougher. So we'll see what happens. Good luck, everybody. May I picks be winning.